All right, listing marketing. So I thought it was relevant. For the past couple of years, all we've had to do is get some nice photos, put the MLS, stick a sign in the yard, and we have 3 offers, in 5 minutes. And that's not happening anymore. So I want to make sure you get in. I'm going to show you a video to get in and do lead street seller reports for all of your listings. There's another service called List Hub that's free. You can sign up for that through the board. I stopped sending out List Hub notifications because they pulled off Zillow and Realtor.com. Like, okay, so what's the point? If you don't have Zillow and Realtor.com on there anymore, then why are we sending these reports? And no one cares how many times it was on Homes.com, right? All it cares about is our websites, Realtor.com and Zillow.com, and you can go separately to Zillow and to Realtor.com and pull those reports and screenshot them, send them to your seller. Or when you get a new listing, have your seller go on Zillow and claim that listing as their home. Then they'll be able to access that panel in Zillow that says how many people looked at your house. So they just need to go on Zillow and claim that listing as their home. So just make sure that people do that. And it's just a 4-minute video. And I can send this to you. I just wanted to make sure you all actually watched it. So I'm going to play it right now. How to set up the seller reports. So I'll send this to you as well afterwards. Hi team, so I thought I'd record a video showing you how to do seller reports now that homes are taking longer to sell. We haven't been doing these the last couple of years because if you get an offer and sell the house in 3 days, they don't care how many views it gets online. We don't need to show them any of the marketing that we're doing because it's already sold. So this is something we're going to need to start doing. And Heather, you can watch this. It doesn't really apply to what you're doing, but it could be useful information. So you're going to go to maxtech.me and log in with your Remax email address. And you're going to click Lead Street. It's going to open up another tab. So I'm going to do this for Deborah Walker for the 2000 Sharon Drive vacant lot. And I'm going to copy her email here. So first things first, you need to add the person as a contact. So you're going to click Contact List, Create Contact. Name and email is all I'm going to use because we don't use Lead Street as our CRM, so we don't really need to fill everything in. We just need to have their information in there. Okay, so we got Deborah Walker. You can put more information if you want. You can put active client, seller, save changes. All right, then we're going to go to listings. And look for 2000. There it is, 2000 Sharon Drive. And click on reports on the left. Add the contact. Why did it not work? Okay, was that not fucking working? Oh, sorry. I already put her name up here, so never mind. So I've got her. I thought it was going to show up here in this list, but the email popped up here. So online seller report, send me a copy if you want a copy. Some of these I select this if I know it's something I want to know every week, so I have a reason to call the client, and then I'm going to do every week until it's sold. And we're going to send an email right now since I'm just now setting up this report. So you're going to want to scroll down and look at the comps. So it's only set up for other comps within a half a mile. That's why there's only one other one showing up. So we're going to, since this is a vacant lot, let's go out 5 miles. So active listings, sold listings. And this is what she's going to see in her email box. And we're going to click save it, and it will send her one right now, as well as send her one every, I think it's every Wednesday they send these out. So that's it. You're going to rinse and repeat and do the same thing for the next one. We're going to go to contact list, go find the next listing, contact in Boomtown and add them here, and then go back to listings and set up the report. So for properties in the city, you can go out 1 point. So I would just set it up to, unless you have like 50 listings, which you probably don't want to get 50 emails every Wednesday, but if you have like a handful of listings, it's a good idea just to send it to yourself every Wednesday. It gives you a reminder. Like, hey, Joe, I just sent you a marketing report. They don't need to know it's automatic, right? You just give them a call and say, hey, I just sent you this marketing report. I want to make sure you saw it. I did have on my list, so weekly marketing, showing updates. So again, schedule yourself a time every week to call all your sellers. Who's missing? Anybody's here? So just schedule a time to talk to your sellers every week, because again, what most realtors do is they don't have any updates or any good news, so they just kind of ignore them, right? When I used to get expired listings all the time, the number I always asked the person at the listing appointment, after I finally got an appointment from all the mailings, they said, like, hey, what did you not like about your last agent? They said, well, they signed the listing contract for 6 months, they stuck a sign in the yard, and I never heard from them again. And that happens more often than it doesn't, unfortunately. So that's why people have a general distrust of realtors, right? Like, just the 3 Ps: put a sign in the yard, put it in the MLS, and pray it sells, right? That's most people's marketing plan. So even if you don't have something to say, call them and say, hey, you know what, there's been no updates. We've had 3 showings. Here's the showing feedback. You know, what we're kind of seeing in the market right now is blank. And, you know, don't worry. You know, the market's shifting a little bit. It's only been 2 weeks. Don't worry about it. Historically, homes take, 3 to 6 months to sell. Good thing it's not 6 months right now, right? Just always try to put a positive spin at the end. Lucky for you, it's not going to be 6 months. It might be another 2 or 3 weeks. Just find something positive to say, even if you don't have an offer, whatever. It's really important to just be real blunt with the showing feedback. That's why I wish more agents gave feedback like our agents do, because like just saying not interested, that doesn't fucking help me. Right? Just write something. Like, what did they not like about the house? I need to know. So just we talked about this plenty of times. Always make sure you're giving good showing feedback, because it sets yourself apart from other agents and it makes other agents want to work with you. Like, man, Amber wrote like 4 paragraphs of showing feedback. That's awesome. Agents love it when you give them shitty feedback, because you take it to our clients and say, here's what people are saying about your house, right? It's not us. It's all those nasty agents out there. It's not me. Don't worry. I'm on your team here, right? So, mobile-friendly Facebook ads. So I want to show you some of the reels that our content person has been doing. I encourage you to find someone to do this for you, or if my guy has extra time, like, you can pay me to have him do it, whatever. But he's done some really cool things lately. This is the newest format. I interviewed a bunch of realtors to see what were the things you wish you knew before you got into real estate. Number 1, setting boundaries. It's really hard as a new agent to set boundaries, because you're always in the what if mode. What if that person that called the office and wants to see the house is a buyer? What if the person that came to my open house that wants to go see 5 more houses is a buyer? We need to work on pre-qualifying people, making sure they're motivated, making sure they're loyal to working with you only. Number 1, things you wished you knew before you got into real estate is be clear on setting boundaries. So I thought this was relevant. I wanted to show you. So I pulled the insights from one of the most recent ads that I ran, and almost everybody's looking at your ads on mobile, right? So make sure that all of your ads are mobile friendly. Make sure, test it out. If you post an ad, like, what happens when I click the link? Does my website look mobile friendly, or does it look like shit? What does the consumer see when they click on my ad? So very few. So almost 2,000 people on mobile app feed, mobile industry video, desktop ad on the right column. Desktop feed, 11 people. Got 2,000 mobile, 11 people on desktop. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're doing any kind of ads. Go ahead and record your videos, portrait mode, because that's what people are looking at it on their phone like this, right? So just need to make sure you're recording videos that way as well. Preparing for the shifts. So I don't know if you saw the YouTube video I did. If not, I'll run through it real quick. Maybe some of you did, maybe you didn't. So clearly we're in a uncertain time, right? It doesn't have to be uncertain. We can prepare for it. We can know what to do. So there's always 4 stages that you go through when a market shift takes place. So there's the forming, which is your initial awareness, like, hey, something's different. What's that, right? Storming, like the freak out mode, like sorting out what's going on, what do I do? Man, interest rates are 6%. How's this gonna affect my buyers? How's it gonna affect my sellers? And this is where the average agent gets stuck. They don't know what the hell to do, and they're like, shit, real estate's hard now, I'm out, right? A lot of realtors are gonna be leaving the business in the next 6 months, or at least not renewing for 2023, I can guarantee it. I would guess at least 10% or 15%, based on, the increase in membership we've had when the market was easy, to when it gets hard, people are gonna leave. So we need to figure out, okay, now things are different. We need to be sending the message to our buyers. We need to be sending the right message to our sellers, so we can get back into up here to the norming stage. Like, hey, this is the new normal for our real estate market, and here's how we're gonna do things differently. And then you take that information from the new normal stage and perform it. We go out there and do videos on Facebook, talking to home sellers, talking to buyers, like, hey, here's what the market's doing, nothing to worry about. People always need a place to live. So we need to get past this freak out stage and get back here, okay, this is just what we're dealing with now, there's nothing I can do to change it, then get up here to just put all those new things into action that you're gonna do for your home buyers and your home sellers. Some new skills, or not new, some skills you should work on developing now that it's not easy to sell real estate anymore. I mean, let me back that up, it was never easy for a buyer's agent the last couple of years. So buyer's agents, your time is coming. Yeah, right. Awesome. Can you imagine showing 10 houses and they can actually think about it for a couple of days? We want to think about which one we're going to pick. You can actually think about it now. Well, you don't have to write it out for 10% of list price and hate yourself 6 months later because you did. So work on your scripts. Again, we're going to work on what's the message we're sending to home buyers and home sellers out there. Because I saw this back in 2008, 2009, and half of the realtors left the business, and those were the people out there saying, when someone asked them, how's the market? Man, it sucks. Everything's a foreclosure. Doesn't qualify for financing. There's nothing for sale. Everything's a piece of shit. And those are the people that left the business because that's the message they were sending to people. Because who wants to do business with that person, right? All they are is doom and gloom. So scripts. Hey, home buyers. Had a hard time finding a house last year. Your time's coming. Interest rates are up. The casual home buyer who's just like, screw it, 3%, I'll buy a house. They're out, right? They're not going to buy right now. So the people that actually have to buy a house are the people that are buying houses. Home sellers. People always need a place to live. People bought houses when it was 18%. People bought houses when it was 8%. People are going to buy houses when it was 3% just because it was a no-brainer. People are still going to buy houses at 6 or 6.5. Don't worry about it. Get real good on market knowledge. The MLS has information from 10, 15 years ago. Go back and research what were home prices like in 2008 when the market crashed. What were they in 2010? What were they in 2011? Just look at some history data so you can have some information to tell your clients. And then just make sure you're looking at the MLS every day for new listings, new sales. Keep an eye on the sales every day. Look at how much was it listed for, how much did it sell for. You don't need to write these things down, but just have daily activity of looking at these things is going to it's going to come out of your mouth, magically when someone asks you, right? Hey, I've been looking at the sold comparables every day for the last couple of weeks, and what I've noticed is homes are still selling right about list price. Some are like 2 or 3% below list price, but we're just not seeing 10 or 15% over list price anymore. And you're going to know that if you look at the MLS every day. You don't need to sit down and memorize it. Like if you just look at the MLS every day, you're going to know these things, and it's going to come out when someone asks you. Storytelling. Tell stories of your past clients. Go through all of your past sales, your sales trackers. Look at every transaction and what was unique about that transaction. Write it down. Keep notes on your phone, keep a Google Doc, have these stories ready, look at them regularly. And when you go to a new client's house for a listing, hey Joe, I had a client last year, her name was Betty. She had a really hard time selling her house. What we found was no one liked the pink and purple and lime green rooms that she had, and as soon as she painted it gray or beige, the home sold in 2 weeks. That's a story you can tell, right? It doesn't need to be some amazing story like, it can just be a pretty factual story of a person you helped. And when you have all these stories that you look at regularly and you have them in your phone on the notes or something like that, when you go to that next listing appointment with someone who needs to move to Colorado because they got a job transfer, oh, you know what? Hey, I just had a client last year that moved to South Carolina for a job transfer, and we really put our marketing plan in place. We got them the offer in the time that they needed, and they were able to get down there for their job to join their family who moved earlier in 45 days. Does that sound like some amazing thing you did? No, you just did your job, but it's a story you should be telling when you talk to people. Again, always empathy, clarity, conviction. People, the home sellers and home buyers out there are really confused about what's going on. They don't know how it affects them. You need to have some empathy to their situation, whatever their situation is. Give some clarity around the situation. If it's a home buyer that's worried that they're not going to find a house, or worried that they're not going to be able to find the house they want for the price they want anymore, just get some clarity. Hey, let's get clear on what's happening here. Get back in touch with your lender. Ask them how long your interest rate is good for, and if it's changed, how does that affect the price range that we're shopping in? So just get clear, it's solutions, right? Then conviction, send the message with conviction for your business, conviction for helping people out there in the real estate market. Do's and don't do, don't wing it. Do keep nailing the basics. Maybe I only see all these coaching things on Instagram because I follow a lot of coaches, but Tom Ferry, John Chetflack, Travis Robertson, everyone's jumping on this get back to basics bandwagon right now because it's true, right? Get back to basics, right? It doesn't need to be complicated. We're going to call our sellers every week so they know at least hear from us. We're going to reevaluate our home buyers and see, okay, has your price range changed at all? Just where the basics are. Get on the phone, call people, do some prospecting. Don't hide. Do run towards clients. They need you more than ever. Again, that's what people do. They're the ostrich. They stick their head in the sand. They don't know what to say to a client. Hey, how's the new interest rate going to affect my home buying process or affect my sale? They just don't even answer the call or don't even talk to them anymore, right? So your clients need you more than ever right now when all they're seeing on the news is the Fed's raising the interest rates and they don't hear from their agent. They're going to go online and start Googling stuff and they're going to find it from somebody else. So you need to make sure that you're the one sending the information early and often. Again, don't be an echo, be the voice. You don't just go out there and say what everybody else is saying, because real estate's local, right? We can hear what's going on in the national level in the real estate market, but we need to say, how's this affecting Illinois County? That's really what we need to focus on and start sending that message. I'm sure you probably saw some stuff on the news about the interest rates and home prices nationally. Well, here's what we're seeing in our market, right? We need to separate ourselves from the national trends and how's this affecting Adrian, Michigan, Tecumseh, Michigan, Dundee, Michigan. There's always three options. Don't look for just A or B. There could be a C. Don't do it on your own. Find your community. That's everybody here. We can all collaborate together when we see new things happening in the market. Hey, I had this trouble with this one deal. Here's how we made it work, right? Share that information with your coworkers here. Don't pick up backpacks. What that means is basically picking up someone else's baggage. You have your own baggage to deal with. You don't need to carry your sellers. I'm not canceling my house unless I get $250,000 because I need to have $60,000 to buy my next house. It's not my problem. You need $60,000. Your home's worth what it's worth. That's not my baggage to pick up. Just because you didn't plan your finances properly, I can't make your house worth more than it really is. That's not my bag. That's not my backpack to pick up, man. That's your problem, right? So say it nicer than that. Don't apologize. Do give gratitude. Don't sell. Do ask questions. Listing appointments, homebuyer consultations. Stop trying to sell yourself all the time. You can give them the basics, here's what we're going to do for you, but ask a lot of questions about how you can help them. And don't resist the change. Lean into it. Again, when everyone else is running away from the market change because they don't know what to say to their clients, if you have your scripts ready and you know what to say, then you can lean into it. You can market the crap out of it on social media so people hear from you. Then once they identify you as the local real estate expert, they're going to use you, right? They're not going to use Aunt Sally who got her license 3 seconds ago. They're going to go to the experts. 4 steps: regroup, recraft, rewrite, reengage. So regroup. We're going to take an inventory of your current business because, again, you don't need to freak out if you know where you are, right? What are your numbers year to date? What does your year-over-year numbers? What do your year-over-year numbers look like? Are the lead sources working, or do you need to find new ones? It's a good time when there's a little bit of a slowdown. And then, again, don't think the slowdown's anything weird. We always get kind of a weird slowdown at the end of June, beginning of July, right? On July 4th, everyone's kind of family vacation mode. The kids are out of school. I'm too busy driving my kids around to 5 different camps they're going to, right? No one's looking at houses. So, but again, identify your lead sources. Is Facebook working? Is Zillow working? Is doing floor time working for me? What else am I doing? I went to an open house. Our open house is working for me. Lean into the ones and double down on the ones that are working and get away from the ones that are not. Do you still have the right people around you, or do you need to bring people in? Is what worked last year still going to work this year? What worked last year was we got some new photos, we got some good photos, we stuck a sign in the yard, put the MLS and it sold, and we know that's not going to work anymore, right? Recraft your new vision for the rest of the year. Okay, we know that the last 6 months of 2022 are going to be different than the first 6 months of 2022, so how do I need to adjust my business going forward? Like for people who only work with buyers, like how many more buyers can you work with when you can show someone 5 houses and they pick one because it was available, right? Instead of showing someone 20 houses. What am I going to do with all that extra time? Well, I can probably not work 80 hours a week, which is awesome, but I can spend some more time prospecting. I can work on education. I can get on RE/MAX University and take some accredited buyer representation course or something like that. Like you have some more time in your schedule now because you're not writing 5 offers for every buyer. Figure out what you're going to do with that time because you still need to fill your day with dollar productive activities, right? So you could fill that time with education, learning new things, getting better at your craft. Right? What will be our new weekly schedule? Again, evaluate what you're going to do with your time because again, you're not showing someone 20 houses, writing 10 offers. Hopefully you show them 5 or 6 and you write 1 and they get it. So that's a lot of time you're saving, right? What do we need to take off the calendar and put on it? Just evaluate what am I doing for myself, what am I doing for other people, what am I doing out there that I shouldn't be doing, and I'm going to get those things off of my calendar so I can focus on my business. What's your new budget, projected profit? If we do see any kind of slowdown in transactions, how's that going to affect my advertising budget? How's that going to affect different things about my business? Maybe I'm not going to drive to Albion and show 10 houses at $5 a gallon anymore, right? I'm going to refer that out to somebody to get a referral fee. Or just doing one-off showings. Like we're not going to do a one-off showing in Saline and one in Ann Arbor tomorrow and one in Livonia the next day. We're going to see them all 3 the same day because I'm not paying $5 a gallon to go back and forth 3 or 4 times. What new actions do we need to lean into? You can just reevaluating your business, what's working, what's not, what new things can I add to my business during this time. Rewrite. Take the time to sit down and rewrite the pieces of your new vision, new business plan for the rest of the year, your new budget, your new schedule, new things you need to learn, your goals, the weekly and monthly must-dos, and the wins you're looking forward to. Re-engage. Take on the decisions you made as you go through the weeks. There are 3 steps. Evaluate weekly, what's working, what's not. That's what kind of these like downtimes give us. They give us some breathing room in our business, right? Because we haven't been able to do this the last 2 years. We just kind of been going, right? It's like, it's been easy for listing agents too, like sort of. I mean, you list it and it sells, but then you have 10 offers to sort through and trying to help the seller decide which one's the best one and put them on a spreadsheet and do all this stuff. Now that we don't need to do that, we're going to have a little more time in our breathing room in our schedule to evaluate our business, what's working, what's not, make adjustments, and then take action and repeat. All right, so we'll talk a bit more about mindset again. I know we did last time. I saw a quote in a book, that new Ed Milet book, The Power of One More. It said, do you ever think about what you think about? Like, it's a pretty simple question, but it's really like, I wonder, like, do I think shitty thoughts all day or do I think positive thoughts all day? Do you ever think about what you think about? And this is an old one, where your mind goes, your energy flows, right? All the things that you focus on is where all of your energy goes and gravitates to. So do you think negative thoughts? All my deals are a disaster. These buyers suck. They want to see 5 more homes. I can't sell this home. It's overpriced. There aren't enough serious buyers out there. No one will sell this home. No one will sell their home if prices go down. I don't have enough experience to compete with top agents. Those are all negative things that people can generally think about for their business. Some positive things, and the flip side of those would be, I will bring this deal together with the right information. Right? How can I make sure my buyer has all the info they need? I need to have a pricing talk with my seller and bring facts. Again, that's the cool thing about the listing conversion, the pricing boot camp, is that, hey, we're bringing some comps that the seller's like, hey, you pick your price, right? So then they pick their price, they take ownership. People always need a home to live in. That's true, right? There's a few industries that are always going to be recession-proof. Doctors, lawyers, real estate, right? All those services are always needed. People always have a need to sell. I'm relocating, I'm downsizing, I'm upsizing, we're getting divorced. I don't like my neighbors, whatever. People always have a need to sell. And consistency and visibility win every single time. The person that's out there online, the person that's out there making phone calls, the person that's out there doing open houses, visibility and consistency win over experience every single time. So you don't need to worry about competing with people that have been in business 10 or 15 or 20 years. If you're out there, the most visible one, that's who people are going to gravitate to, right? Another mindset trick is, what in this situation can I control immediately? You can use this in your business. You get a home buyer who's kind of being unreasonable, like, okay, what can I control about the situation? I can just bring them the facts again, like, hey, here's your price range, here's the homes we're seeing. Then if they continue to be unreasonable, then you can ditch that client, right? You don't have to work with everybody. Sometimes you can't convince people. It's okay. Same thing if like a problem comes up with one of your pending deals. Okay, what about this situation can I control and what's out of my control? I can control the things I can. The things that are out of my control are not my problem. Again, your buyer went and got a Lowe's card or something to buy new appliances 3 days before closing. Well, that's not that's their backpack, man. They screwed that up. They need to figure it out. Talk to your lawyer. See what you can do. It's not my problem. Things I can control: my attitude, my time spent on dollar productive activities, my market plan and budget, the number of calls I make on a daily basis, the message I am sending out to the consumer. Again, what are we telling people when we talk to them when they ask us how the real estate market is? My visibility and consistency online. Scripts. All right. Questions? Oh, this is a good one.
I'm trying to get my wife to go where I want to go to dinner. Because I want to go to Cheesecake Factory, the finest establishment in the land. If I say, hey, babe, you want to go to Cheesecake Factory? She might be like, well, no, I don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory. Now, if I switch that and I said, babe, would you be against going to Cheesecake Factory? She's like, well, I'm not against going to Cheesecake Factory. And I'm like, great, let's go. Someone says that they have to talk to their business partner, or they have to talk to their husband, or they have to talk to their wife. You say, well, what would happen if they said no? If they say, well, I would do it anyways, then boom, you close the sale. Let's say that for some reason they say like, oh, I left the car that I wanted to use or whatever. No problem. Do you have your phone on you? Cool. Why don't you pull up your banking app, go to your statements, and then we can see your account number on the top right, and we can write that down, and we can do an ACH transaction. Someone says, I need to think about it, or I need some more time to make the decision. I say, listen, it doesn't take time to make decisions, it takes information. And the problem is we think that the longer we wait, the more information we're going to have. But I'm the only source of information that you have to make this decision. So what are your main concerns?
Yeah, so really I played that for the last one. I need to think about it. Well, hey, Joe, what I've learned over the years is it doesn't take time to make decisions, it takes information to make decisions. So what haven't I told you that you need to know about this house? Like, more information is not going to come just because you wait 3 days, right? What's going to happen? Like, I've already given you all the information, so what have I not told you so far? So that's a good one. Try to incorporate that when you get some pushback or something from somebody. Yeah, I need to think about it. Okay, what don't you know yet? Because it doesn't take time to make decisions, it takes information to make decisions. So some common questions: how is the real estate market? Or I heard the market is crazy, or when will it crash? We've all heard those, right? I'll send these out afterwards. These are very long, so I don't expect you to memorize them, but just get the concept. I think we can agree on one thing, Jim. Please insert the correct name. People always need a roof over their head. People bought homes in the 80s when the rates were 18%. People bought homes in the early 2000s when rates were 7.5%. And a lot of people bought homes and the rates were 3% just because they felt it was their best opportunity. And people will buy homes now at 6% plus. Current interest rates will not deter serious home buyers who have a need to move. People need to move, right? Well, great. Who needs to move? I'm glad you asked. Serious buyers who have a need to buy a relocation, first-time buyers tired of renting, move-up buyers who have outgrown their starter home, people getting divorced, people getting married, combining households, people retiring who want to downsize. There are a lot of people out there who buy homes for all different reasons. Again, just have your elevator pitch ready, elevator speech ready when people ask these questions. People always need to buy a house, right? Especially with rental rates are still crazy. Stupid landlords. Now they're charging too much. Fire your landlord. Will this affect home values, or when will prices come down? Possibly. I don't think we'll see any big change. This is just my personal opinion, right? So I didn't get this online anywhere. I don't think we'll see any big changes until 5 or 6 months from now. Home sellers will still be able to get their 2021 prices from home buyers that are already in the home buying mode and have a good rate locked in. So again, talk to your buyer clients. Hey, you had 4%. How long is that good for? Well, I have to find a house by tomorrow. Well, shit, you better get on it, or else you're paying 6%, right? That will start wearing off around September this year. Sellers will try to hang on to those 2021 prices, but it will eventually start dropping prices when homes don't sell in the first 30 days, which has been the norm for the last couple of years. So again, as we've said plenty of times, the public perception of the real estate market usually lags 6 months behind what's actually happening, right? So if you're listing houses out there, they're like, well, my neighbor down the street sold for $255,000 last year. I want $275,000. I'm like, all right, well, that's 2021. That's not where we're at right now. So just need to show them relevant comparables and most recent. So at this point, you can't even go 6 months for comps, right? You need to go back like 2 or 3 months to show when we're doing listing appointments, because 6 months ago is completely irrelevant to where we're at. When will all the foreclosures hit the market? According to Inman.com, which I'll send you the link. Well, I don't know if you'll be able to see it because you have to have a membership. But anyway, I'll send you the link if you want to sign up. The leading real estate news website, mortgage delinquency rates are at an all-time low. March of 2022, only 1.4% of homeowners were more than 90 days past due, compared to March 2021, where 3.5% of homeowners were 90 days past due. So what happened in March of 2021? People didn't know they had to pay back their forbearances, right? They got behind. So that's when all these mortgage delinquencies got recorded. You know, hey, you had a forbearance for 2 months and you didn't pay us the lump sum when you were supposed to. Now, boom, you're 3 months behind. Well, as we said before, banks learned a lot in 2008, 9, and 10. They don't want to foreclose on you. They want to work out a deal, which is what they did with these people that were 3.5% that were behind. They said, okay, we'll work something out because we don't want your house. Even though the bank could take your house now and make money, right? There's equity. Everybody has equity, right? So banks still don't want to take your house even when they can profit. Mortgages actually in foreclosure are 0.2% of all mortgages in the U.S. Rising home prices and resulting equity gains are providing alternative options for those facing foreclosure. Again, everybody has equity. Why are people getting foreclosed on? There's like, once a foreclosure come in, like, why would anybody get foreclosed on? There's some people that, yes, they have a desperate situation, something bad happened, they're getting divorced, they threw their hands up, they don't care anymore, they're just walking away from the house. It happened to one of my clients over on Fraser Drive. I mean, I sold them the house for like $50,000 and the shows the foreclosure for like $125 or $150. Like, why didn't you call me? They had some kind of situation, they were embarrassed, they didn't want to talk to anybody about it, so they just packed their bags and they left, right? Even though they had $50,000 of equity sitting there. Most people are going to try to sell their house if they get behind. So that's the message you need to be sending to your people that ask this question when all the foreclosures coming. Well, hey, Joe, if you had $50,000 of equity and you were getting behind on payments, would you sell your house or walk away? Well, I'd sell my house. Okay, well, that's what everybody else is doing, right? Like, you're not the only one smart one out there, right? People have a brain to sell their house. I think that was it.